Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Vic's channel. Today's video is done on a Sunday, probably the best Sunday we've had so far this spring. And today's video is going to be about why I did very little about my garden at the beginning of the year. And I just thought you might enjoy the view because it's Australia on a beautiful day, beautiful spring day with a gorgeous view. Okay, just a look at the very lovely garden with some very beautiful flowers. And of course, a great big dog, but you can't get away from him. Come on, Buffy boy, out the way. Come on, move.
Tell them the story of that plant, big leaf plant.
This one here.
The one that I potted from a little pot plant.
The Monstera. I'll get to it. These were in flower not so long ago. They were beautiful. And these are a native orchid. Just starting to lose their colour. Beautiful rock garden here. First it was when it was put in. It's had a bit of an age. Alright, I started working in this garden probably late January. And that's when the rain started. So it was about once a month I could get to the garden. And this is pretty much what it looked like. Really overgrown. Really heavy. With leaf mulch and sticks. Because it's Australia. And we got these things. One of many types of gum tree. And this is a look back onto the house. And again, well, the intro shot was that direction from the other side of the house. So, but as you can see, it's still a little bit overgrown up here because I never actually got this far up. But remember that. It's actually thicker than that. There are kangaroos get through here, so, and bush turkeys. So it's been trodden down a little bit. Mind you, this is just at the edge of suburbia in the central coast of New South Wales. So, as you can see, we've got some growth coming back, more bracken coming back and some weeds, which I'll get to in the next couple of months. But all this was probably knee-high with bracken and other weeds, some really big woody weeds that were probably 9 feet high. Pretty much hadn't been touched in the last 10 years. And the lady you heard before talking about the plant was this Monstera, which started out as a pot about 15, maybe 18 years ago. I'm a little slow going through here because I cut my toe up here the other day. But as you can see, she's a beautiful old Monstera. I'll try and, just get a better angle. There we go. Monstera started out as one little pot plant. Now it's at least 3 plants, I believe. That's 3 of them I can see. It's not the sort you eat. It's not the Monstera deliciosa, it's one of the other Monsteras. And the weeds through there were just heinous. It was horrendous. It took me weeks to cut through all this. Because, just doing 4 hours, 3 hours every couple of weeks. And a lot of that was all pulled it back through there. Some more of these, I can't remember what they're called. They flower very nicely, it's beautiful flowers. But all that was dug out around there. It was just the 3-4 clumps that were here, is what I left. But bracken you just can't kill. There's some little baby bracken down there. But over the next 3-4 months I'll come back and I'll do it again and clean it all out and create another, well, last time we created close to 3 tonne worth of bracken and leaves and sticks. and that was after it all dried out. The pile was about 1.5 meters high by about 2.5 meters long, maybe longer, about 1.5 meters wide. Yes, all through there was heaps of bracken, heaps of other weeds. If you look in there, I'm not going in there because there are things in there that hurt. Yeah, that thing there, it's got some really nasty little spines on it, and they hurt when they they go straight through your leather gloves. So, very nasty little thing. But these are some of the flowers that you get off this thing. Very pretty. Absolutely gorgeous little things. Sadly, it's pretty much at the end of their season at the moment, so there's only a few of them around. And one of the beans of my life. Ivy. Kill it with fire. But give me another 6 months or so and this garden will be back to its beauty. Because of all this, I mean, they're gorgeous trees. They're absolutely gorgeous trees. It's heavily shaded, so the grass doesn't tend to like it all that much. There's another set of beautiful flowers that are at the end of their life. They flowered early because it was warm. As you can see, they're all spent now. Probably the last couple on this bush. Very pretty flowers. It was gorgeous about 3 weeks ago when it first started. The wind is coming directly at the moment from that jasmine, and it smells beautiful. It's absolutely wonderful. Very pretty, and the smell is gorgeous. It's star jasmine. It smells, basically the whole area just smells of honey. Nice, subtle, sweet honey. And this is one of our supervisors. This is Buff. He's got a very important message that everybody needs to learn. You need to like, subscribe, comment, and share. It'd be really, really cool. He'd love you. He'd love you, wouldn't you, Buffy boy? You'd love it if people did that. That's how warm it is. He's sitting in the sun panting. Some more beautiful flowers from this garden. There we go, there we go. Oops, zoomed in too far. There we go. Again, these all flowered early. Winter was warm, but it was incredibly wet, as you saw from my last video. A lot of these things need to be pruned, and they'll be pruned over probably end of summer, so they can come back really nice and thick for next year. But like I said, this garden had hardly been touched in well over 10 years. But again, more beautiful flowers. I really like this flower. Focus! You put an orchid in the right spot and it will just look after itself. At one stage you couldn't get out the back there because of the piled high of bracken and other stuff that are dug out of the ground. Pretty much covered that whole area this side of the rock. It was huge, it was massive, it was a lot of heavy work. Smell from this jasmine. It's just a shame jasmine doesn't last long before it loses all its flowers, because this is the type of smell that you can put up with all year round. It's absolutely gorgeous, but it's a bit spindly because of lack of light, which is, you know, the thing for when you live on a half-acre bush block. Get a lot of them around this part of the Central Coast. Alright. No idea what this is. It does produce some very pretty flowers though. This is the driveway from hell. But all this was all overgrown. I've still got to finish getting in there. I haven't gotten into all of this yet. And this is what I was telling you about before, the nasty little spines that pierce through leather gloves. Can't see anyone at the moment, but they're there. And it becomes very wiry, like a bit of a runner. And at the moment, because it's all fresh growth, it's pretty good. Because, you know, I did pull it all out. That was a wild passion fruit vine that was going ape. I did put a lot of it out, so it's not really at the moment very spiny, so I might come back and do it next weekend if it's sunny. But yeah, more bracken. So they're quite pretty. Pretty little flower plants. And again, flowers that are at the end of their life. These are beautiful. These are a bottle brush. These things here, called a bottle brush for, you know, obvious reasons. They come in many varieties, and these ones are a lot firmer, a lot more rigid. When all this peels back, you'll get seeds forming in through there, but they're all spent at the moment. They'll seed up over the next couple of months. Might even collect the seed pods and see if I can strike them, because they are a nice plant. Take a while to grow. Most Australian natives are not fast growers. There's a couple, but most of them go slow and hard because they've got to put up with that. Understory plants in Australia are great. They're awesome plants, but not really that fast, but very robust. And I'm not into flowers, guys. I just know it looks pretty. Oh, it's very pretty. Okay, now that has been debrackened about 8 weeks ago. I've still got to get in and take out a whole lot of stuff, but I was mostly getting rid of the bracken, and as you can see, that's where I got to before more rains came. Because I only do this on weekends, so when the owner's home. So that's like about once a month I can get out here and I can do 3-4 hours work. I believe this is going to be a tree. Lovely fresh spring growth. And that tall skinny thing there, that one there, it has the smallest little flowers at the end. Another native. I think this is another one here. Here we go. We're just about to flower there. Let me see if I can get it without. There we go. I'll put my hand behind it so you can see the flowers. That's the flower head, at least. No flowers on it yet. And more little flower heads. And they should get about 6 inches long. Very tiny little flowers, very pretty though. Another one of our annual trees that's growing up. And some more pretty little plants and succulent type things. Alright, something I do know about bracken is Aboriginals in Australia and people around the world found out a long time ago you could eat the very tips of it. Where it's from about there where it's soft, where it becomes soft. So springtime is a good time to do it because you get lots of little tips. But however, the stuff is carcinogenic. And in Japan, where they do actually like it, it's a bit of a delicacy in Japan, it's supposed to be a lot more carcinogenic than anywhere else. Now, I don't know what they do in Japan to make sure it's safe to eat, but in Australia, the Aborigines used to cut it off, pick the top off, and they do the whole plant, like as much area like this, and they just rip it off. And when the fire had burnt down to just hot ashes, they'd cover it in hot ashes, and that would kill the carcinogens. How they learnt this, I do not know. But you know, 60,000 years of hanging around the place, you learn things. So they could have a nice salad greens without getting cancer from them. But again, I haven't gotten to this part of the garden as yet, because it's hard work and I'm a fat old lazy man. So some more prettiness. Lots of hidden gems. Yes, I've just got to get in there. I have gotten in there and debraded a bit, like up there where it's short. Again, I've got to get in there and do that. Take out some more of this red berry stuff, because you can see the berries on this little nasty little pokey pointy thing. If I can get them in the camera shot. There they are, right in there. Poisonous, don't eat them. Pretty, very pretty. Alright, this pretty much goes to a wrap up of the things I was doing over the 6 months. It was hard slog. It was on, you know, when I first started it was Australian summer, so lots of heat, and only being able to do 1 day a week, or 1 day a month actually, because of the rain and the rain and the rain, and having to spend time with this one as well. Yeah, they like their walks. They go for about 2 hours a day, so between the rain and the dogs, I didn't get as much time here as I wanted, but it's a lot better than what it was. I spent way too much time doing this garden and not enough time doing my own. Alright, well, have a good life, peoples, and I'll see you next time.